Hey y'all, welcome to Bianca Reads. Oh my god, I don't really know what I'm gonna make my intro. I really don't know how my intro is going to be for this video, but welcome to my YouTube channel. Hey. I don't know if this is my first video or I don't know, because I've been vlogging, but I don't know how to end a vlog. The same way I don't know how to leave a man. So I'm just going to go over all of the psychological thrillers and just regular thrillers that I read last year. Yes, I'm very late, but it's better late than never. And these are great recommendations, y'all. I did not read a lot of books. However, I felt like I read a lot of good books at the same time. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, no, I did not read 100 books or 50 or even 30. But I tried, and that's all that matters. So let's just get straight into the video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to me. Book talk. Oh man, it's not even book talk. Booktube. Yeah. Booktube. Nothing is being a book talk, but if we all support each other, make sure I said support each other like I'm British. Did that low-key sound British? I don't know. But anyways, if we all comment each other's YouTube channel and subscribe to each other and like support each other, comment on each other's videos, we could all make it so far. So make sure you comment your YouTube channel or whatever, and I will definitely subscribe to you if it's like book related and stuff. But anyways, without further ado, let's get into the video. This is definitely not in particular order or anything, but I'm just gonna tell you if I would recommend the book and what it's about. Let's just start with this one. Hidden Pictures by Jason Rekulak. I hope I'm saying it right. I'm going to try to say all these authors' names. Please forgive me if I'm wrong. Jason Rekulak. I'm going to just say Rekulak. I don't know. But I'm just going to read it out to you. So this, all right, no. I don't want to read out the synopsis. I'm going to try. I have ADHD. I cannot finish a thought, like literally. Okay, so boom. I am not that good at telling synopsis without spoiling the book, but watch me do it. So boom. Hidden Pictures is basically about a woman fresh out of rehab, and she's babysitting this family's kid, and this family kid starts to like draw crazy stuff. Like it's like basically a horror thriller. I was creeped out by this book. I really was creeped out by this book. People say it's really not that scary, but for me it was. And like, I'm just gonna give you an example on some of the drawings. And I think this kid was 5 years old, and look at what he was drawing, bro. Can y'all see that? Yeah, I really hope y'all can see that. But basically Mallory, the one that's fresh out of rehab, she's just like going through the pictures, and you see the picture I just showed you. She basically seen the picture and she was like, oh my god, this man is literally dragging a woman's lifeless body. And like the pictures start becoming more and more graphic, and she's just trying to figure out like what is going on and if she can save Teddy, the 5-year-old son, before it's too late. The plot twist at the end was like, oh my gosh, what the hell? And yeah, I really did enjoy this book. I really did. And it's like almost 400 pages, and I usually don't do long books, but this book kept me like entertained literally the whole entire time. And the plot twist that I was thinking, oh my god, it literally was not that at all. So yeah, I'm sorry, I may not be good at telling synopsis, but make sure you just look up the synopsis yourself if I did not do a good job explaining it, and read that book. It's so good. Now we're gonna get into The Landlord by Brandon Massey. Oh my gosh, y'all. This book, bro, I love this book. It's not a psychological thriller, but it is a thriller, and it definitely will keep you on the edge of your seat. It is such a fast read. So this book is basically about a couple named Cam and Desiree, and they're living in Atlanta, and they find a house that's way too good to be true, like for the price and stuff like that. And then remind you, they're within a budget and things, so they definitely cannot overspend. And basically, like, the terms of the lease are weird. Like, they already got weird vibes, but they thugged it out because they already paid. Things really start to get creepy. And then like Cam is also a struggling writer, and he's like desperate to make ends meet and stuff. So basically the wife is low-key the breadwinner in this situation. And now the landlord is basically telling Cam, like, he's giving Cam jobs, and the jobs start to become a little more and more crazy, and like it's like, what the heck is going on? Like, you know, like it could go from like the first job, for example, this is not really in the book, but the first job could be him picking up a pencil for the landlord, or picking up his landlord's breakfast. But then and he gets paid very well. That's the thing too. The reason why he was doing these jobs is because he was compensated more than fairly. So he's like, yeah, but like I said, it starts to become more and more extreme and unhinged, and it's like, oh my god, like, what's going on? And then it basically says he owns your house, he owns your family, he owns you. So it's like, will they be able to escape the landlord's terms and all the rules that he has, or not? Because the landlord is actually very crazy. This book is so good. Read this book, please. Nobody talks about Brandon Massey, and he's also a Black author. The next book is Ask by Andrea by Noel W. Noel Illy. Hopefully I'm saying that right. But yeah, I did not enjoy this book at all. I was going to DNF it, but I really wanted to see what, I just wanted to, I don't know. It was just very, like, it was so boring to me. This book was so boring. I wish I read it for free and I didn't pay for it. Maybe that's not nice, so I'll take that back. So this book is basically about 3 women that were all unalived by the same man. He basically hunts them online and things, and they end up going on a date with him. He does crazy stuff, whatever. So he's gotten away with it 3 times. Basically, they're not gone though. They're just ghosts, and they can communicate with each other, and they won't rest until they find a way to stop him. The haunt is on. This book was so boring. Like, literally, I wish I DNF'd it. I thought it would hit more like towards the end. It got a little better towards the end, but I would never recommend this book. But you know what book I do recommend and I love? Local Woman Missing by Mary Kubica. Mary Kubica. Local Woman Missing. This is one of my favorite reads of all time. I don't think, you know, I really just love this book. I was going to say I don't think anything's going to top it, but I do not like, if I really love a book, I don't want to think, oh my God, this book was better. I just want to love the book. I want to love all the books equally. If I love it, I love it. If I don't like it, I don't like it. All the books give me a different feeling. This book, I'm going to just read the synopsis to you because, yeah, people don't just disappear without a trace. Shelby Telbo is the first to go missing. Then Meredith Dickey and her 6-year-old daughter Delilah vanishes just blocks away from where Shelby was last seen, striking fear into their once peaceful community. After an elusive search that yields more questions than answers, the case eventually goes cold. Now, 11 years later, Delilah shockingly returns. Everyone wants to know what happened to her, but no one is prepared for what they'll find. And some people will stop at nothing to keep the truth behind. I actually do think I'm going to reread this book. I enjoyed this book. And I already know what the plot twist is, but if you don't read anything that I tell you, read this one. I'm not going to lie. Local Woman Missing is truly such a good read to me, but I also do have another thriller that I love talking about. But as far as Local Woman Missing, this book was just perfectly executed in my opinion. Let me know if any of you guys read it, and if you don't like it, don't even comment that. Thanks. But next book, Don't Let Her Stay by Nicola Sanders. I enjoyed this book as well. I would recommend it. I felt gaslit throughout this whole book, low-key. Like, I'm just like, oh my God, what the heck is going on? But basically, this book is about a couple named Joanne and Richard, and they have a beautiful baby girl together. Boom. And now Richard's 21-year-old daughter Chloe gets in touch. They haven't spoken in a long time, and then weird things start to happen in the household, and like specifically to Joanne, the wife, and she's like, oh my God, does this have anything to do with Chloe, the daughter, or like what's going on? Because Joanne, like, she literally starts to miss her appointments. She's just going berserk, badonkers. She's going crazy, and she's like, oh my God, what the heck is going on? There was a lot of things going on in this book. Was like, it's basically like, oh my God, is Chloe really here to help? The plot twist of this book, like I said, I felt gaslit this whole book. It was a good book. I feel like it was a good read. It was fast-paced. It was definitely fast-paced, and it's under 300 pages, which is great. I love a book that's under 300 pages. But yeah, I definitely would recommend this book. But it's not like, oh my gosh, please read this book, the same way I felt about Local Woman Missing. But I did enjoy the book. I didn't love it though, but I did enjoy it. The Housemaid by Freida Mcfadden. Yes. Yes, I love this book. This is one of my favorite reads. I'm not gonna lie. I really did enjoy this book, and I'm gonna read the synopsis to you. I feel like most people already know what The Housemaid's about, but if you don't know, and if you don't know Freida Mcfadden, get into Mrs. Freida Mcfadden, child. Freida Mcfadden, she's a great author. The characters in her book, like the female characters, they do piss me off, but they're still good reads. Like, it's popcorn thriller to me. Every day I clean the Winchester's beautiful house, top to bottom. I pick up their daughter from school, and I cook it. Basically, she does a lot for the family, okay? So now the couple's name is Nina and Andrew, and I forgot what the babysitter's name is. I really did. Was it like Millie? I think her name was Millie. Okay, yeah. Millie was a housemaid. And then things just start to get weird. Like, Nina, the wife, she starts to make a mess, and then, like, she's purposely doing things for Millie to clean it up, and she's, like, treating her like shit. And, like, there's just, like, a lot of sus things going on in the household, and it's like, what's going on? Let me just read the last of the synopsis. I try on one of Nina's pristine white dresses once, just to see what it's like, but she soon finds out. And by the time I realize my attic bedroom door only locks from the outside, it's far too late. But I reassure myself, the Winchesters don't know who I really am. They don't know what I'm capable of. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, this book was great. I loved it. Very fast read. I think The Housemaid deserves all the hype it gets. I loved it, and I cannot wait to watch the movie in December. The next book by Mrs. Freida Mcfadden, The Surrogate Mother. When people talk about Freida Mcfadden, they always mention The Housemaid and Never Lie. Sometimes The Teacher, and maybe I'm missing another book. But this book right here was probably my favorite read. Just to be clear, I meant my favorite Freida Mcfadden read, not my favorite read of the year. Like, as far as plot twist, The Housemaid got it, but The Surrogate Mother, this was definitely an entertaining book, and it was so unhinged. So Abby and her husband, they want a baby more than anything. They're a couple, husband and wife. And, but they can't have babies. Like, you know, they went through, like, miscarriages and things like that, unfortunately, and failed infertility treatments, adoptions, they fell through and stuff. So there's a time where her assistant, Monica, count your days. Monica from The Surrogate Mother, count your days. Quickly. Yeah. But Monica basically makes Abby a generous offer to, like, carry her baby, and things unhinged. Read this book. Please read this book. Super duper duper fast paced. This book, Next of Kin by Kaya Abdullah. Next of Kin by Kia or Kaya Abdullah. This book, it was boring to me, but I would recommend it if you don't mind a slow burn. It was just like, Yeah, this book, oh, the plot twist of this book was very good though. I will not lie, this was an amazing plot twist. Not amazing, but it was very good. It was very good. Let me not gas it too much, but the plot twist kept me reading the book, you know? However, it was like courtroom drama basically, so boom. On an ordinary working day, Layla receives a call that cleaves her life in two. Her brother-in-law's voice is filled with panic. His son's daycare has called to ask where little Max is. Your worst nightmare. Layla was supposed to drop Max off that morning, but she forgot. Racing to the parking lot, she grasped the horror of what she has done. What follows is an explosive, high-profile trial that will tear the family apart. As the case progresses, it becomes clear there's more to this incident than meets the eye. This book was good. It was just a very slow burn. Like I said, it mostly took place in the courtroom. And I would still recommend the book, like I said, if you do not mind a slow burn. However, it was still kind of just a little boring to me. But my battery is getting really hot, so I'll talk to you later. It's so interesting to me when you see a quote on a book and it's like brilliantly tense. A nightmare scenario evolves into an engrossing human drama that I couldn't put down. Just superb. And it's like, I really did not like the book. That's how you know reading is truly subjective, and I love that. Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. Alice Feeney. Alice Feeney. Rock, Paper, Scissors. At first, I really wanted to DNF this book, but it did... Okay, it was just a super slow burn, and I'm not used to slow burns because I read a lot of fast-paced thrillers, like books that reel you in from the very beginning. So, yeah, like this book was just super duper slow, but it was not boring enough for me to DNF, and I am glad that I finished reading it because the plot twist was great, and I actually would recommend this book. At first, I legit gave this book like a 5 out of 10 because it was so slow. Then, like, the more I thought about the book and I let it like marinate into my brain, I'm like, oh my god, wait, this book was actually well written in my opinion. But yeah, this was a good book. This actually was a good book. And I do want to read another one of her books. Let me know if anybody read this book and what did you think about it. Because I usually hear that people loved it. Never Lie by Freida Mcfadden. Yes, I would recommend this book. However, like now that it's marinated and stuff, I don't even remember what the hell the plot twist was. Yeah, I don't even remember what the plot twist was in this book. Just look up the synopsis for this one because it's always a damn violent winter storm that traps people, and now you gotta make it out. Like, what the hell? But yeah, I really don't even remember the plot twist in this book. I do recommend it though, but like the more that it was like marinating in my brain, I'm like, this book was not all of that to me. It was still good. It was still a good book, but it was very overhyped in my opinion. Maybe it wasn't. I really do not remember the plot twist of Never Lie, but I do know that I would recommend the book, I guess, so yeah. Ward D by Freida Mcfadden, my very first DNF ever. I never DNF'd the book until this one, and I'm so glad I DNF'd it. I did look up the, I did end up looking up the plot twist of this book, and I guess it was good, but this book was extremely boring to me, and that was very surprising. I never thought that I would DNF a Freida Mcfadden book, because she does do a good job at reeling people in, but this book just did not do it for me. However, I hear The Inmate is better by her, so yeah, I don't want to read a prison book anyway, so. I mean, unless it's like Prison Break, because Prison Break was one of the best shows ever. The next book, wow, I'm just pulling out Freida Mcfadden, but I think this is my last Freida Mcfadden book. The Perfect Son. Yes, I definitely would recommend this book. I did enjoy it. It wasn't like an amazing book, but it was enjoyable. It wasn't unputdownable, but I mean, you could still read it really fast. So this book was basically about a woman named Erica Cass, and she does have like the perfect family, perfect life, until two detectives show up at the door, and then they basically say, Mrs. Cass, we were hoping your son could answer a few questions about the girl who disappeared last night. And she basically, Erica, the mother, always sends something different in her child. But, you know, like, mothers have the best instincts, and, like, the child was great in school, but she just sensed something was off with him. The evidence in the story, it, like, all went to him. Am I the only reader that believes just because a plot twist was predictable, that does not mean the book was poorly executed or poorly written? Because, yeah, no, I read a lot of books where I guessed the plot twist, and I'm just like, oh my god, I still love the book. Let's talk about it. The One by John Mars. I am reading a book by John Mars right now. I think it's The Family Experiment. So this book is about 5 different people, and they're living in a society where you can take a DNA test to find out the love of your life. So there's 5 different stories in this book. I only enjoyed one story, and it's basically just letting you know how it goes with their like matched partner, because you know everybody has secrets, and there's a lot of secrets in this book. But there was only one story in this book that truly got my attention, and I did skip a lot of the stories because it was just very boring, except for one story. And that story was with Christopher. If you know, you know. I think it was Christopher. But yeah, read the book. I do recommend it, but I wouldn't go crazy. Would I recommend that book though? I don't know. Just because I only like one story. I get the concept of the book. I feel like the concept of the book is entertaining, but other than that, I don't know if I would really recommend it. The Silent Patient. The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. Michaelides. The Silent Patient, y'all. The Silent Patient. I was not the biggest fan of this book at all. If you know, you know. Like, if you have me on Book Talk, you know that I'm not the biggest fan of this book. I see why people did enjoy it. This is an extremely slow burn, and it was very boring to me. The plot twist was good, though. The plot twist was good. It was a bit predictable, in my opinion, but it still was a good plot twist. Like, that doesn't change the fact that it was good, but I did not like this book at all. Super slow, and it could have been, the book could have been a lot shorter, in my opinion. Behind Her Eyes by Sarah Pinborough. I DNF'd this book. I know that there's a Netflix series on, like a Netflix show on it or whatever. Yeah, no, this book was not it for me at all. Even the show was extremely boring. I did look up the plot twist. The plot twist is great, but it was way too slow for me. Way too slow. I think I DNF'd at like 80 something pages, and I don't regret it. Should I cry now or should I cry later? Because yeah. Saving Noah, 10 out of 10. This is literally a 10 out of 10. This book was amazing. This book was truly amazing. Lucinda Berry will forever deserve the flowers because, yeah, so basically, Noah is an honor roll student, award-winning swimmer, and small-town star destined for greatness. There weren't any signs that something was wrong until the day he confesses to Emmeling. I don't know if I can say it, but little girls during swim team practice. He's sentenced to 18 months in a juvenile sexual rehabilitation center. Rehabilitation center. His mother, Adrian, refuses to turn her back on him despite his horrific crimes, but her husband won't allow Noah back into their home. In a series of shocking and shattering revelations, Adrian is forced to make the hardest decision of her life. Just how far will she go to protect her son? This book, like I said, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. And honestly, this book really makes you feel empathetic towards everybody. And it sucks to say, but it's such a tough situation to be in as a mother. I can't even imagine, like, you know, just read this book. It definitely checked the trigger warnings on this book, and the plot twist was insane. Like, this book would have already been amazing without the plot twist, but the plot twist was really the icing on the cake when it comes to Saving Noah. So, The Kind Worth Killing by Peter Swanson. This book, I don't recommend it. So, it's basically about these two people that's on a flight from London to Boston, Ted and Lily. Ted is, like, having problems in his marriage, and he basically caught his wife cheating. So now Ted is telling Lily that they don't know each other. These are two strangers. And Ted obviously feels super betrayed. Basically, Ted makes a joke and he's like, oh my God, I wish I could just unalive my wife. And then Lily's like, yeah, I'm down. Let's do it. Imagine. That's crazy. But then there's like a lot of plot twists. The reason why I did not like this book was because there were just way too many characters to keep up with. I hated that so much. I really couldn't stand, like, it was way too confusing for me. Way too many things to keep up with. I had to keep up with like 10 characters in this book. No. But I feel like if you're good at keeping up with characters and you're good at remembering things, then maybe this is the perfect joke for you. I said the perfect joke. I meant to say the perfect book for you. I'm sorry. The Exes by Brandon Mossy. So we've spoken about Brandon Mossy. The Landlord was the first book I read by him, and I'm like, oh my God, yes, he's my kind of author. The book is basically about a guy named Austin. He's married to a woman named Brooke. And 7 years ago, his ex-wife, Naomi, basically nearly to death. And, oh, can I say death? I don't know. And that act landed her in prison. But now she's back, and she's basically trying to do whatever to reunite the family. Whatever. And when I say whatever, this book is completely unhinged. Would I recommend it? If you don't mind characters pissing you off, yeah, I would read this book. But I was so mad at Austin in this book, it's not even funny. Naomi's completely unhinged. She's like legit crazy. But Austin was pissing me off more than anybody in this book. Like I said, if you do not mind characters pissing you off to the point where you want to physically throw the book, this is the perfect book for you. Let's talk about it. Verity by Colleen Hoover. Oh my gosh. Yes, I do think this book was worth the hype. But the thing is, I have read better. Like, Verity's not the best book that I've read. Put these two books together, who y'all got? I wouldn't say it's unputdownable, but it's a good book. Like, it's a fast read, for sure. I read The Drowning Woman by Robin Harding. I don't remember the synopsis of the book, but I do recommend it. Oh, it's basically about a woman. She's basically homeless, and she sees a woman trying to drown herself. She's a rich woman, by the way, and she's just trying to figure out, like, why is she doing this? And there's a lot of plot twists in the book. It's a good book, and it's definitely a fast read as well. So I would totally recommend that book for sure. It's also on Kindle Unlimited, which is a plus because what the hell? Oh, The Arrangement. I read The Arrangement by Kiersten Modglin. That book was also very good. And I finished the series this month, and it's January right now. So, yeah, I really did enjoy that book. I'm not going to lie. It's basically about a couple that are just going through it, and the wife is a fixer, and she's like, I'm not letting my husband go. But child, there are secrets after secrets after secrets, plot twist after plot twist. If you love Freida Mcfadden, you will love Kiersten Modglin. Trust and believe me when I say that. Like, for real. I really cannot find other books that I've read. I'm not gonna lie. I know I've read like probably 2 more books, but I just can't find it. However, let's just talk about the best series on the planet, the Mind F series by St. Abby. Yeah. Ate that series up. That book is literally... It deserves all the hype it gets, and it even needs more hype. That book is amazing. I love the Mind F series. I would do anything to read it again. I'm not gonna, not anything, let me not say that. But if I could reread that book and Local Woman Missing, yeah, I would love to. I really, really, really would love to. That book was perfectly executed, and that book, just go look it up. Look it up, look up the reviews, and understand that the hype that that series gets, it's for a reason. And it's also on Kindle Unlimited. I really can't beat that. I'm sorry, but no. There's no beating a thriller that's on Kindle Unlimited. That's all I need to hear. This hoodie is by me, so make sure you shop. I'm going to put the link in my bio, and I will see y'all in the next video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Later.